All right, welcome to the Bean Apple, the Giants recap show. As you can see, the team is here.
Yeah.
Joe Tedisco with Jim Trafficante. We're here to break down the the Giants game, the Jets game. John couldn't make it again conveniently. It's becoming a trend. I don't like it. You know,
Just like the Pats losing. That's a trend also.
yeah, yeah, just like Cam Newton getting pulled out of the game, John's going to get pulled out of the show if he doesn't start showing up.
Nope.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
I'll tell you who looked good today, though. Brady. Brady looked pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet you Bill Belichick is just kicking his own ass right now and
Oh, yeah.
deciding it's time to move on
Mhm.
from the Tom Brady era. And all Patriots fans have to be ecstatic. I mean, hey,
Mhm.
what could go wrong? Let's take a look at Jarrett Stidham and let Tom Brady go. Like, oh man. And
Well,
you got to get to look at him there in the fourth quarter when he got put in for Cam Newton. But
mhm.
otherwise, man, that team, you know, he gives us he gives us a lot of shit for how the Giants and the Jets play.
Yeah.
But man, I watching that game today, the Patriots look about as uncompetitive a team as ours do right now. Like
Yeah.
that was disgusting. Just a disgusting show. And Jimmy Garoppolo went in there and just wrecked house. Just hey, you probably should have held on to me
Mhm.
because I got you. So we talked about that in the preview show a couple days ago. Is it going to be Bill Belichick saying, "Hey, you know, I still got it," or is it going to be Garoppolo saying, "Hi, I got you"? Well,
Right.
Garoppolo definitely said, "Hi, I got you," and then I think he went to the sideline and watched the rest of the game when it was out of hand. So
Yeah.
uh,
It's unbelievable. Both quarterbacks that could have been on the team still, got the wins today and lit it up. I mean, they scored, what, 45 today, and he passed Breeze for all-time touchdown passes.
yeah,
Was it 550? A nice ball, nice spiral. I'll tell you, I was watching a little bit of the Pats on the highlights, and the way Cam Newton releases the ball, I don't know if that's new. I don't remember him throwing the ball. I know, like I've kind of talked about the way Philip Rivers throws, kind of like a sidearm thing.
yeah.
And there's another newer quarterback, I think rookie this year. I don't know if it's Herbert. I don't think it's Herbert. One of the other guys. And I saw Newton throwing it today. I mean, he throws a nice spiral and he's throwing it far, but his wind up and release to me looks, I don't know if it's something up with his shoulder or something. It doesn't look natural and it doesn't look like what I remember from Carolina.
Well, from what I saw a lot of passes hitting the ground from Cam Newton. So, we
Yeah.
might have been. He did have a couple of good passes, but most of them
Mhm.
were just terribly underthrown or off target, just really, really bad. So,
Mhm.
he's probably off somewhere sobbing in a nice Sunday dress somewhere. I'm sure, like a nice
Oh yeah,
Easter
yeah. I
bunny
got a
on.
YouTube. I got to YouTube that post. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great stuff. I mean, that's you people win an Emmy for that or,
I know,
or an
right?
Academy Award or whatever it is. One of
he's
those awards.
he's just terrible. Um, But
Yeah.
let's not dwell on that. Let's dive into what people came to
Who
see.
else? Who else is terrible? Let's talk about
Yeah.
another.
So let's talk about our New York Jets. Mostly mine, but you're
Mhm.
still New York. So
Yeah,
uh so where do we
unfortunately.
begin with this? So there was let's try and highlight a couple of good things that happened in this game, right? Adam Gase got the play calling taken from him. Or
Mhm.
maybe he just gave it up. Either way, he wasn't calling plays, and things kind of looked good in the first half. And not great. Nothing to said like, hey, this is definitely the way we need to go. But they were moving the ball. Darnold looked crisp. He looked good. They were getting some open receivers for the first time this year. I actually saw some guys open, which was really, really nice. Uh, so they scored. They scored 10 points in the first half. That nice P Ryan uh, end around to just reach in. It was nice. Switch hands to his left, reach in, hit the
Mhm.
pylon as he's going out of bounds. Really nice. Congratulations for him for his first touchdown in the NFL. That was nice to see. The disappointing thing is we talked about this is Frank Gore still had the first 3 or 4 carries of the game. And you're talking about building for the future, seeing what you got in the young guys, playing your rookies, and Frank Gore is starting the game. They both ended with 11 carries, pretty much neutral across the board on their stat lines. Just very disappointing because Perine just looks better. Frank Gore had a couple of nice runs. I'm not going to take anything, a couple of short, 12, 14, 15-yard runs. Nothing massive, but still good. But, we talk about it. You got to see what you got with Perine, and they're not doing it. And I can't figure out what it is exactly. But yeah, Frank Gore, 11 for 60, Perine 11 for 39. Perine had 2 catches for 16 yards on top of it. Frank Gore had none. So, you're not using Frank Gore in the passing game at all. Why not give Perine 20 touches, see what he can do? I can't get around that. But the defense, we're talking about some positives in this. The defense was definitely a positive. Held the Bills to no touchdowns,
that's a surprise.
Yeah, it's an offense that could move the ball, and they did a good job of controlling Diggs. They didn't completely shut him out. Would he end up 6 for 48, but much better than the first go around where he was just running rampant all over the offense. Or he was running the offense basically, which was surprising in the first game, just so good. But it was Cole Beasley's day today. We didn't have an answer for him. His final stat line, he had 11 for 112 on 12 targets. So he was their go-to guy in this one. So, but overall, good job. They held him to 7 field goal attempts, which is a lot, right? You still let them get into field goal range 7 times. They converted 6 of them. So, not bad, but still, you could have won that game. You could have won that game easily when you're holding a team to only field goals. They said it's the second time this year that a team has won a game without scoring a touchdown. So, of course, in Jets fashion, this is what happens, right? We lose a game by that, but the bad Adam Gase is still the coach. I haven't seen that he's fired yet, and I'm still going to.
Nothing's going to change.
No, I'm going to stick with it. I don't want him to be fired. I know Jets fans are beside themselves, and I see all the news about fire Gase. Everything on every Jets post on Facebook is just the we deserve better, fire Gase thing, like 600 times just down the comment thing. So I know you guys want Adam Gase fired, but he can't get fired until the season's over. We have to finish this. And I was saying I was getting a little excited. Sam in the first half looked really good. I was like, man, this is nice. He looked crisp. He looked sharp. His decisions were nice. And then something happened at halftime. I don't know. Maybe somebody came down and said, hey, you're doing too good. Don't win this game. Start playing same old shit.
Right.
So they came out in the second half just dead. I mean, just disgusting. Sam had 1 completion for 4 yards.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
I mean, we could do that. I'm sure I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I have no idea and how you can.
In a half of football, I'm sure I can hit someone for 4 yards in 1 half. Yeah, I'd be willing to bet on it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And I'm not a professional. I don't know if you know it. I'm not a professional quarterback.
Really? Huh. Yeah.
No, but if I was, I bet my house that I could do that.
I would hope so, because if you're going to call yourself a professional at anything, you should be able to somewhat successfully execute whatever that craft is. Like, it really.
But you know what it was? Right, it doesn't matter. I think at halftime, like you said, I only watched 1 drive because I hate the Jets, and I never watch them. But I thought, let me see, we're doing the show. Let me see if there's something I see. And I did see them moving the ball, and I saw a little play action. I saw some stuff. And then I think at halftime, when Gase handed, what's his name, Donald, a towel, it wasn't a dry off. He was saying, see this towel? We're throwing it in. Throw this towel in. Don't do anything. We're going down. The ship is going down. Well, the jet is going down, I guess.
Yeah. You've done enough for today. Let's call it. Let's read it in. So I was optimistic on the first half. It was good to see him back on the field. It was good to see him moving the ball, controlling the offense, and driving driving the team down the field on a couple plays there, and then all of a sudden that was the end of it. And then he came out, he threw that interception on the last drive going into the half, and then after that it was just done. It was really weird. He had some beautiful ball placement on some passes early on, and then I don't know what it was. He was just throwing to players that weren't on the field and just missed, into triple coverage. Like, what are you doing? So it's tough. 12 for 23 for 120 and 2 interceptions. Like, and this
he looked over to the sideline and the coach was doing this, which is sign for throw it to the other team. Throw the ball to the other team. That's that signal. So he was getting the signs from the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throw this one away.
Just disgusting. I can't make heads or tails of it, but this is why if you when the Jets end up with the number 1 pick, you take Trevor Lawrence and you don't think twice about it. Because he's just not showing you. Yeah, in a game where you held them to 6 field goals, you should have been able to win as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Regardless, you had Perryman, you had Mims, who actually looked pretty good. First game out, he had 4 catches for 42 yards on 7 targets. He had some nice catches. He had some nice burst after the catch to grab a couple extra yards before he got hit. That was nice to see. We'll see what he develops into. There's going to be some work, obviously, for him. Perryman got destroyed. I don't know what his status is, but Sam actually dropped a nice pass down the sideline, and the safety came across and just annihilated him. And all they got was a 15-yard unnecessary roughness, but just dropped his head and shoulder and just went right into him. So defenseless receiver, hopefully he's alive. I don't know. They didn't really talk too much about it because I think the announcers just wanted the game to end. It was late in the game, so got to see the news on what happened to him. He got destroyed. So you might be without Crowder with the groin injury. They're saying that's going to be probably a couple weeks. And now whatever happened to Perryman isn't looking good. So now you're looking at Mims as the number 1 guy who's played 1 game now in the NFL. There's, the end is in sight. It's the number 1 pick in the draft is what you're going to end up with. And it's disgusting, but props to the defense. They definitely stepped up. They looked good. They looked hungry. They're still playing hard for Greg Williams. I can't say the same for the offense, but
no, it's terrible. I really thought to myself, this is just like the Jets, right? Oh, when I saw that drive, I thought, oh my God, if they upset Buffalo and get a win, and somewhere down the line get a second win and not get the first pick, it would be perfect, right? I mean, of course. And then what do they do to all the fans just to give it to them a little bit more? They only lose by 8, right? So all the Jet fans are figuring we're going to lose 42-10. I'm taking the Bills. I'm laying the points. And guess what? Not only can we not score, we're going to make it so you don't win by betting against us either. I mean, how did they only lose by 8 to Buffalo? I mean, that's unbelievable. And the line did come down. So the line opened up, I think, at 12, and I saw it this morning like around 10. And I'm thinking, how the hell is it coming down? Maybe because Donald's playing, so they think 10 is going to be a good number. And apparently 8 was a good number, but who took 10 points in the Jets to think they were going to cover that? Nobody. No. Buffalo, Vegas was,
No,
oh my God.
The Jets were 0-6.
Vegas made all the money today because everybody took Buffalo. Nobody took the Jets with 10. No way.
No, they the Jets were 0-6 this year against the spread. So why would you not? And they've lost more games by 20 points, and they've lost that they haven't lost. So why would exactly say you're going to tell me I can have Buffalo and 10 points? Like that's
right.
That's
right. All of a sudden they could stop Buffalo to not score a touchdown all game. And now next week they'll play. I don't know who they're playing next week. Next week they'll give up 38 or 40 points.
Next week it's the Chiefs. So
forget it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Chiefs, So they ended up winning in the snow today. I saw part of that game too in Denver.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mahomes, I saw at least 2 or 3 shots where that guy came off the line flying and just leveled him. And I'm like, man, Mahomes this year has been getting hit more than I remember seeing in the past.
Yeah.
And I thought, yes, it's wet and slippery and sloppy, but I think there's been a couple of games where they haven't looked their best like they did last year.
No, not even close. But they don't have to.
I'm talking about on offense too.
I know.
On offense, I'm talking about.
Yeah, they won't have to next week. They could really. They don't even.
Right. They can sit Mahomes. Why don't you take a break?
Right. They put Chad Henne in the end of this game, and he rushed a touchdown to Henne. Chad Henne could beat us right now, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, all you're going to have is Mims because, just looking at the news, there's nothing definitive yet, but Perriman's being checked for a concussion. So if he comes back with a concussion, he's 90% not playing next week. If that's the case, you're going in with Mims, Berrios, and I guess Jeff Smith as your starting 3 wide receivers, which you don't like. You don't like, right?
Hey, what was the spread you said last week or the other show? 22 points or something?
Yeah, it opened at 22. It's gotta.
It's probably going up now.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's going to go down. It's not the way that this.
I mean, what do you think? You don't think Le'Veon Bell wants to score 4 touchdowns next week?
Oh my God!
Come on,
come
on.
Oh, they're going to feed him. Yeah, they'll run him till his legs come off. They might just tell Clyde Edwards-Helaire to just sit down, take a break. It's a bye week for him. Go ahead, freshen up, kid. Le'Veon could destroy it. It's gonna.
Oh my God! How great is that going to be? I mean, he's just scoring on him, and the Jets are paying him.
Yeah.
We're Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Le'Veon's going to do that. He's going to add insult to injury. He has to.
When's the game? When is that game? Sunday, 1:00.
Yeah, regular.
Yep.
It's at the Chiefs, I think. So, which makes it even worse.
Oh, that's perfect.
Let me take a look.
So he can wave over to the Jets because the direct deposit will have cleared already from his weekly payroll.
Yeah, so he could just.
I got their money. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Watch this. Yeah. At the Chiefs, it is a 1:00 game. So it's.
Oh my God! What's his weekly pay? About $800,000 or something.
Yeah, they owe him. Well, they owe him $6 million for the year, so whatever that equates to.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, so the line has actually come down. It's now just negative. It's just Chiefs 21.
Oh.
Yeah. So
okay.
Just 3 touchdowns. They're not comfortable with anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
So if you were betting, are you taking the Jets plus 21?
No.
No chance.
No. Not against.
No way. No way.
Like we talked about last week, this is. Like every team that gets to play the Jets, it should be a get right week for them. I mean, and you could see with the Bills, they didn't have to do anything crazy. They didn't have to try that hard. They were still moving down the field pretty easily. It was just when it got into the red zone or close to the red zone, the Jets D kind of toughened up a little bit, but they weren't doing anything crazy. Allen ran a couple times, but nothing extensive. I think he had 50 yards rushing on the day, 50-something yards rushing. So he wasn't going crazy, but he was still, picking some holes here and there where he could go and run. But they didn't need too much. I didn't see any crazy plays like they usually pull off. The Bills like to do a lot of those trick plays and gadget plays and stuff like that. They really weren't. So it was an easy. It was an easy win for them. I'm so tired of every year rooting for a high draft pick because that's basically the only thing I've got every single year. And all Jets fans know this, really for the last couple of years, Giants fans too, know what it's like. You're looking at, hey, who's the top 5, top 10 pick that we're going to be adding to the team this year? Because the season's over by mid-season. So hopefully, like I've been saying all year, just let Gase ride this out. Let this team tank. Take Trevor Lawrence. Take the Seahawks first-round draft pick. Take the first pick in the second round. And throw a couple of blue-chip prospects on this team. Because that's all you've got. There's nothing on there's nothing on this team that you're building around. at this point. And I think Sam just kind of shown you today that he's not, that he can't take this team and show much promise at all. I mean,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, it's just so tough after 6 games to already know there's no chance for this year. Hopefully next year. Next year there should be a softer schedule because you're going to be in last place. But still, like I said, like you said, like we've both said, I mean, every year it's the same thing. It's the same old Jets, right? I mean, you think about it, if the stadium was full, like the picture behind me, what would it be like this year for both teams at home? How many fans next week, 0-7, go into the game? Well, I mean, nobody because they're in Kansas City. But the week after that, how many people are coming in to go? I mean, if they were counting on that revenue this year, right now they know there's no revenue. But if they were counting on it, and the parking lot's half empty, and the stands are half empty, and there's nobody there but the corporate guys that are going because it's a party, but the true fans are staying home. What does that stadium look like? It looks like it probably does right now, right? There's a handful of people there, and that's it.
Yep.
20%, and they'd be taking a bath on the revenue. So, yeah, it's almost like they get a pass this year because there is no fans. But
yeah, it would be very interesting to see how the leadership would react to it. And I'm like I said, I'm glad they're not, but because
right. Well, it would be all away team. It wouldn't be any local fan. It would be the away team's fans there, right?
Right.
Maybe if you were able to travel. But.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough season. It's tough to endure. It's hard to live with, but at the same time, there is a direction that this team is going in, and it's not the head coach, it's not the offensive coordinator that's going to do anything.
This way?
Yeah. No. Well, this way to get the number 1 pick.
Oh.
So. Yeah,
okay.
They're going to finish it out. You let Gase go and you go with it. But yeah, just a disgusting showing overall. That second half was abysmal. Just abysmal. Like like I said, I hate rooting for the high pick, but I know it's coming. I think everybody knows it's coming. And how a win comes in this team for this team, I don't know, but it's just rough. It's rough rooting for a loss every week, but it's at least Trevor Lawrence is going to come out. He's just going to, especially with the whole COVID stuff. You don't know if it's going to flare back up again, if it's going to ruin next season, and then there's not a season, and then you're just sitting out of football. So you can't take the chance. He has to come out this year. And you can't pass on him. You can't.
No.
Sam's not showing enough. He can't play a full season when he's in there. To completely disappear for 1 completion for 4 yards in the second half of the game, that's not your starting quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback, and how do you give him a 5th-year option for $22 million when he has 1 completion in the second half for 4 yards? I mean, I get it. The wide receiving core sucks. I understand that.
Yep.
There's still wide receivers that can catch a ball. They just are. So somebody could catch a ball.
You know who can catch balls? Dallas's wide receivers. So when Jerry Jones calls up to New York this week, because he did say he's ready to make some changes. I mean, Dalton went out with possible concussion.
Yeah.
I don't even know who who was the kid that came in, Nick Danucci?
Yeah.
To finish the game. I mean, they scored 3 points against Washington. They gave up 25 to Washington. So Dallas's defense is horrible. And if Jones wants any chance, this is the year because nobody in the East is doing anything. He's going to have to do something. He can't think he's going to make it with Dalton.
Right.
And like we talked about, what other quarterbacks are out there right now that are game ready to get in there and go? And maybe he calls up and inquires about Darnold.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Why would you not? At this
right.
We talked about I talked about it in the preview show. We talked about the Cowboys and why at this point, right? Why are they not kicking down the doors in Miami saying, give us Ryan Fitzpatrick? What do you want for Ryan Fitzpatrick? You're not going to use him. We need him.
Right.
Give it to us. But you got to do something. You've got so much offensive firepower on that team, regardless of what
and they're not even using it.
And they can't do anything.
3 points.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb had like 0.1 fantasy points, I think it was.
He's on my bench.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
And you're giving up 25 points to Washington. Like Antonio Gibson, their running back, looked like a superstar.
Mhm.
It's disgusting.
It's really unbelievable how bad Dallas's defense is.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Irvin was talking about it on the show this morning, and just showing different plays and the techniques, how bad they are.
Mhm.
I mean, the guys are I don't care if it's a pass, if it's a screen pass, if it's a run, they're always in the wrong spot. They're always getting outmaneuvered downfield. It's incredible what's happening with Dallas. I mean, and I didn't look at their schedule going forward, but I know we play them one more time, and I think it's the last week of the year. But I don't see them doing anything. Really, the Eagles, against the Giants, had some life. They came back in that game, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But you look at the East, and I think Jones has to do something right now if he wants any chance at a shot at this. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah, because looking at it, it is now who's in first? Are they still holding on to first? No,
Nobody's in first.
the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Eagles, thanks to their tie against the 1-5
Right. They couldn't beat the Bengals.
Bengals,
Right.
are now your first place. So yes, you've got the Eagles at 2-4-1, Washington at 2-5, Dallas at 2-5, and the Giants at 1-6. So in reality, the Giants, they screwed us, man. They absolutely screwed us. A 1 point loss because they couldn't hold on to an 11-point lead with 5 minutes left in the game. A 1 point loss is derailed our first place push. I guess it's not over yet.
Right.
Not
And it's still one game out.
I know. Yeah, the way this division is, this could be wide open for all four of them until week 11. The way it's
right.
And then as we were talking about last week, you go out to the NFC West, and now with the 49ers just railroading the Patriots, like we were talking about, they're now 4-3, which puts every team in the NFC West above 500. So you've got everybody above 500 in the NFC West, and first place you have 3 2-win teams in the NFC East. Like that is something.
It's sick.
It's something.
It's sick. It's not what I'm used to. No.
I don't think it's what anybody's used to.
No. I mean, the East has lost all the power. It is, and have talent, but cannot execute, cannot put it together, cannot figure it out.
Right.
Bad times in the NFC East.
To see a division, like you look at every other division, somebody is clearly in first place, right? The Bills now at 5-2 have a 2-game lead over everybody else. Tennessee, with their loss today, they're 5-1. Colts are 4, and then it's a complete drop off to 1 win for the Texans, 1 win for the Jaguars. Like you've got, you normally have your separation there, but in the NFC East, it's just bottom feeders across the board.
It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable.
Like you said, like how is Jerry Jones has got to be like, tell me what you want for your quarterback, and I'll give it to you.
Right. I mean, I didn't think about him asking for Jones. Right? Does he call Jason Garrett and say, "Hey, I want your quarterback"? Right? Or is Jason Garrett saying, "Hey, take this guy. We'll wait for the first pick. We'll tank it out."
Who's your backup?
Who knows? Nobody.
I don't even know who the Giants' backup is.
There isn't one.
But yeah, you call the Jets. You give them a second-round pick for Darnold. Do you take it right now? I mean, I think you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's
actually, I think it's Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy, I think, is the backup.
The backup? Jesus, I didn't know he was still in football.
I didn't either. I saw him on the sideline the other day, and I'm like, oh wow, because I didn't know who the hell the backup was.
Good for him, man. He was like the Browns quarterback.
He was on the Browns.
2008, probably.
I think he played with Dallas too a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, he did. Let's
Colt McCoy.
That's crazy. Let's see. Colt McCoy's stats. He is the Giants right now. 2010 with Cleveland was his rookie year. 3 years with Cleveland, 1 year with San Francisco. Then he went to Washington, backed up Cousins there for a couple. And then,
right. Yeah.
So now he's with the G-Man, huh? Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Haven't seen him yet, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Good for him, man. We're just squeaking out a nice quiet career of holding a clipboard and not
Right, getting paid.
not getting hit.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
No, he's not taking any hits.
No.
I remember him getting hit, but not now.
Nope. He
So
decided
so speaking of the Giants, so we're done with the Jets?
yeah, I think that wraps it up. We'll talk about the abuse to come next week with the Chiefs. That's going to be a fun one to preview. Let's see what the news is on the wide receiving core and if anybody's actually going to take the field and who they're going to trade. I'm sure they probably made a couple more trades as we speak. So I haven't got any.
Yeah, maybe.
But
any alerts come up? So yeah, I'd like to see what the highest point spread has been in the last 10 years because 22 is got to be right up there. I mean, when have they given up 28 points as a point spread in NFL? Never. So, going in at 20, opening up at 22 is pretty high. But
oh yeah.
So Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, let's talk.
Great game. Giants Eagles. I mean, so I said all along, this is the time of the schedule that we have to execute. We play against Washington. We beat Washington. Hold them at the end. Get the win. Hoping to carry that over into the Thursday night game. And, I mean, it looked promising, right? We had the lead. We were playing good for what we can do and who we were playing against. But, I mean, so Eagles opening drive, go down. Wentz gets down to, 1 yard line, 2 yard line, almost runs right into his own running back. And the guy kind of tried to tackle both guys, and then Wentz just kind of peeled off and got the touchdown, and they take the lead. But I'll tell you, there were a couple of plays in this game, and in the first quarter, the Giants have to punt. I don't know if you saw this or not. So they have to punt, and Ballantyne, the gunner, is at the top of the screen with nobody on. So originally, I think it was 4th and 1, and it was about the 45-yard line or something like that, and they left him out like we were going to go for it. And then Judge, midstream changes, and everybody runs off the field, and punting team runs on the field, and there's a lot of confusion. And Ballantyne is by himself, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, there's nobody from the line out near him. Yeah. Nobody's near him.
It was like
and the punter, it was everyone on. I'm sure if the stands were full, you would have heard it. But even the announcer said, I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, there's nobody on him. Just throw. It was 4th and 2 or 3. All you do is throw a pass, and the guy's to fall down. First down. And Riley Dixon is pointing at Ballantyne. Before the heck of the ball, he's pointing at him like, all you got to do is turn around. I'm gonna throw. And Ballantyne, with nobody on him, doesn't look back. How? To me, this kid should have been benched the rest of the game. I don't know how the coaches weren't yelling at him, saying, calling his name. All he had to do was turn. As soon as you see there's nobody blocking you, how is it instinctive to say, hey, throw the ball here, I got the first down?
Yeah.
No, he guns down the thing. As soon as the clock, he guns down like he's not, what, he forget how to play the game? I couldn't believe it. To me, when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, that's a bad sign in the first quarter.
Right.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen where the guy's uncovered.
Yeah, and anything like that, you're not running down the field. You just turn and stick your hands up like, hey, nobody's on me. Throw me the ball.
He didn't have to move.
No, but he just beeline down there as if he was just going for punt coverage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was rough.
I mean, how? And, so then, luckily the Giants do get the ball back. Jones throws a pass to Golden Tate, right? So the defender, I don't remember who the defender was, but gets mossed just like against the Jets a couple weeks ago. I mean, how Tate caught this ball, and the kid just tries to tackle him and just falls off him. And Tate just kind of, he does that kind of nonchalant walk in and strut in and scores a touchdown. And, it's 7-7 in the first quarter, but what? Oh, I think this is something. But what I didn't like early in the game was our defenders were playing like 10 yards off every play. Like nobody's up on the I'm like, what are we doing? And Wentz is just dink and dunk, moving the ball down the field. And I'm like, can we get press coverage? Can someone get up and get in these guys' faces? I mean, what are the Eagles worried about them running past us? There's nobody even, half the team was injured. So there was no reason not to get up on them.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about in the pregame, but.
Yeah, they had nobody on the team, and Richard Rodgers came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Really stepped up there for 6 for 85, which was crazy because I didn't even know he was still playing football. The last time I saw him was like 6 years ago in Green Bay. So congratulations for him to continue to pluck along. But that Travis Fulgham again, like he's for real.
Yeah, he made some nice catches.
5 for 7.
He made some athletic catches,
and he could have 5 for 73 is generous because he had 11 targets. Like, 5 for 73 could have been 10 for 180 realistically if he would have caught most of those passes. I mean, dropping more than 50% of your passes is not a very good thing for an NFL wide receiver. But
well, I don't know if he dropped. There was a couple where he was overthrown, a couple in the end zone that were thrown out of the end zone.
Yeah.
He was targeted, but he didn't have a chance of catching some of those.
But the
luckily for us, but
right.
I mean, Wentz, so Jones goes 20 for 30, 187, which is, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Wentz goes 25 for 43 for 359, and you look at the scores and you wouldn't have thought he would have had that many yards, but they were going up and down the field. They had 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. But yeah, the Eagles go down. What's that?
Go ahead.
Eagles go down the field, and Wentz is driving, and he throws the ball into the end zone, and Bradbury makes a great catch for an interception touchback. It was a 10-play drive. They were moving the ball down the field, and then he just throws it away. Being Carson Wentz, like he normally does, makes mistakes, and you gotta collect on those. Yeah. And Bradbury made the catch, and we got the ball back. So,
yeah, which was good. The defense looked good. Coming well
for most of the game. For the first 3 quarters, the defense kept us in the game.
Right, 10 points.
Right?
10 points through all of 5 minutes of that game. That's good. If it would have ended with 10 points, if you could have erased those last 5.5 minutes of the game where they just decided that they had won the moral victory, I guess, and decided to stop playing. But what I was going to say is we should talk about the biggest and possibly best play of the season to date. And that Daniel Jones run. I couldn't stop laughing. It was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. And then we wonder, I told my wife, I was like, this is why white people get made fun of all the time, because we can't even run in a straight line. He didn't have to do anything. All he had to do was run straight, and he could. How do you trip yourself looking over your shoulder? I've never tripped by looking around. Can you imagine that? You just see somebody out jogging, and they just look over at a tree and just fall for no reason.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It really, and actually they said, I think his speed on that run was the fastest by a quarter. It was faster than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, so he got to his top speed during that run. And that's probably what happened. He got too fast for himself. He couldn't keep up with his body. Yeah. Right? I mean, oh my God. And actually I saw today somebody in Vegas had a bet where he bet that Jones would score the 3rd touchdown of the game. And he put it's a ridiculous bet. And the guy had put $500 on it. I think I saw it on Twitter today. And the odds were 2,900 to 1 or something like that. I think I would have won 17,000 or something. It was something ridiculous. I'm thinking, that's even a bet? And he's sitting there, and it was only one guy made the bet that Jones would score the 3rd touchdown. It didn't matter how he did it. Yeah. But here he goes running wide, right open to the end zone. This guy's thinking, oh my God, I did a sucker bet, and it's going to pay off my car. Oh. And he falls down.
Oh my God.
I mean, so if I know that guy, anything he bets on, I'm going the other way.
Yeah.
Because there's no way. That's mush from Bronx Tale, right? He mushed it.
Yeah.
I mean, if that guy, wow. I mean, to be lucky enough to pick the right bet and then have it, and the whole way he's running, he's probably laughing, thinking, "Oh my God, I can't believe it, honey! Look, I got the." Oh no, I don't. Yeah. I don't have anything.
That was unreal, and it was such a nice play. Like the fact that he was outrunning everyone too was crazy. Yeah. Nobody could catch him, and I guess it is like you said, his he was probably so scared that he was going to get taken down that he got going faster than he could keep up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was running. He ran like 0.1 mile an hour faster than Lamar Jackson. But still, you're faster than Lamar Jackson. So
that's crazy.
That was impressive. But yeah, what is it? 80 yards he ran. Needed 90.
Yeah, 80 yards. Needed 90. Needed 90. I know. It's just
what a play. What a play.
Yeah. But we did score. So Gallman did score after that, right? So that was in the third quarter. So the half ended with Eagles missing a field goal, right? So we go in and we come out in the third quarter, and that happens, right? And it is crazy because the defense was totally fooled. There was one guy out there, the receiver blocked him, and Jones was gone. There was nobody back. Everybody was up like it was a run. He fakes left and he goes right, and he's gone. So hopefully we remember that play and try and use it again. But maybe now when we're 80 yards away.
Yeah.
Give him 40 or 45. That'll work.
Even 50.
Yeah, you can do 50.
Get a little greedy.
Yeah.
Get a little greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
so.
Something.
Yeah, so third quarter ends, it's 14-10. I'm still thinking, okay, good, we're doing good. We go fourth quarter. Shepard catches a 2-yard touchdown with 6 minutes and 17 seconds left. We're up 21-10. Hey, this is win number 2.
Yep.
Win number 2. We're up 11 with 6 minutes left. So Wentz quickly, 3-yard touchdown to Ward with 4:38 left. It's 21-16. Okay, here we go. And then it goes down to the end of the game. Boston Scott, 18-yard pass. I don't even know how this pass was completed and run in from 18 yards out. 40 seconds left. And we go down 22-21. But Giants ball before that, before the Eagles got the ball back, Jones throws a ball to Ingram that hits his hands. If you're a receiver, and he's a tight end. If you're supposed to catch the ball and it hits your hands, if he catches that ball, the game's over. It's first down. It was, I think, 3rd and 6 or something. It was probably a 14-yard pass. Hits his hands and goes through. I don't know if he was thinking about running afterwards, like we see all the time.
Yeah.
It's about execution, and you have to catch with the amount of stickum and stuff. They can catch balls like this with one hand with the point coming out of it. He can't catch with 2 hands with the ball.
I know.
Come on. Come on.
Because they were moving too.
Yes.
That drive, they were moving pretty easily down the field. They had a couple of first downs, I think, right? I believe so. I believe they had a couple first downs, and then they got.
All they had to do was get that catch, and we bring it down to the 2-minute warning, and that's it. The game's over, But no, it would have been 21-16, and we would have had the first down. We probably would have ran the clock out.
Yeah.
But he does not make the catch. I couldn't believe it. And, even after they score the touchdown to go up 22-21, we get the ball back. And then, of course, Jones has the sack and the fumble that ends the game, right? So he has to have one of those because we keep on doing that too.
Yeah.
But, my God, I just thought, okay, this is the week, like we talked about. They're going to be up into first place with 2 wins. Real exciting.
First place. Somebody's got.
That's right. That's right. And to see them go down the way they did, 22-21, just oh my God, it's just sickening. I'd rather get blown out than to lose like that.
Yeah, and the tough part on that you talk about, that last fumble that Jones had, is you're in a 2-minute drive there, and he's just back there, just patting the ball, just looking around, like it's got to be quick. It's got to be quick.
Mm-hmm.
Snap, throw, snap, throw. Mm-hmm. Like, you've got to move the ball. I don't care if it's 7 yards and out of bounds. Get it out. Like, if you can't throw it out of bounds, just do something. But he's just back there.
Right.
You got to go the whole field in 40 seconds.
Well, all we need is a field goal. Right? We don't got to score. We don't need a touchdown. Right. We just need a field goal. But you can't fall asleep back there looking around like you forget where you are and then get blindsided and strip the ball out. I just
right.
Oh my God, the amount of times that's happened.
Yeah.
It's just,
and even with it, Jones has got a good enough arm. Throw it downfield, try and get that
pass interference.
Yeah. Pick up a nice 27, 30-yard, chunky yardage there.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go from the 20 to midfield, with 30, 30 seconds left in the game, 25,
Right.
30 seconds left in the game, that's a lot of time. Now,
we could have still did something.
right. If you're at midfield with 30 seconds, that's nothing. You got to get 15 yards to be in field goal range in 30 seconds on a first down. Come on, that's easy. But
and Gano's got a strong leg. I mean, we don't have to get. It doesn't need to be a chip shot. I mean, he could hit from far out.
Yeah.
But you have to. It's like I say, it's about execution, right? Ingram's execution, Jones's execution, and we didn't do it. I mean, it's just again, I feel like it's another game that we didn't get beat. We beat ourselves. Yeah. We beat ourselves. We had the lead in the fourth quarter. 4 minutes left. We're up 5. You got to be able to hold on to that, especially when you have the ball. I mean, you got to be able to execute and get down the field, and even if you kick a field goal there or something. But
and that's where you talk about the adjustments. Like Philly made an adjustment there. They found something.
Yeah.
They found something to be able to walk down the field twice in 5 minutes, and the Giants couldn't respond. They couldn't adjust to slow them down at all. I mean, you didn't even need to stop them. You just needed to slow them down. And they would have ran out of time. But both of those drives, it was like they were just playing prevent defense the whole time, which the only thing prevent defense does is prevent you from winning the game. I don't care what anybody says. I hate prevent defense. I hate playing safe. Like if you play 55 minutes of football hard, play the last 5 minutes hard. Don't sit back in a cushion. If they beat you, then they beat you, but don't give them 20-yard, 20-yard open.
No, you got to be press coverage up in their face. Yeah. Right, hit them off the line in the first 5 yards, slow them down.
Right,
but
you see that all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
before the half, teams walk right down the field and score a touchdown. 2-minute drive at the end of the game, same thing, because they're playing safe. They don't want it to go over their head. No, hit them in the mouth, make it hurt. Keep playing them tough. If they couldn't score on you for 55 minutes, they're not going to score on you in 5 if you keep up that same thing. But they always adjust. They try to be cute, try to be safe, and it always
they fall asleep.
Yeah, always. It's so stupid. Just play it hard, play it straight up. Do what you've been doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
right. Keep the pressure on. Just like we said in baseball, you keep scoring until you can't score anymore.
Right.
You don't just take your foot off the gas. You gotta keep pushing till the time is up.
And it's frustrating. I've seen it so many times. Just Patriots games is they'll do that and they fall off of Brady because they don't want Brady to beat them, or they'll give him big cushions because they don't want him to beat him deep, and then it's just first down, and he just walks down the field because they don't want to get it beat over the top. Like, no, you'll see it all the time. It's like 3rd and 8, and the quarterback's 12 yards off the guy. Like, what do you think he's going to do? You just gave him a first down. Like, get in his face, make I don't know. I'm not a defensive coordinator, but man, it drives me.
Right, they're always afraid of getting beat deep, but instead they give away the short until there's no more field left and they're in the end zone.
Yeah.
So it's like no.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not a defensive coordinator. Maybe there's something I don't know. Doesn't seem like it though. I've watched enough to say and especially Brady is the perfect example because him and like Peyton Manning were two just precision guys. Like they ran their routes with their receivers so many times that they could do it blindfolded in the rain, in a blinding blizzard. They knew exactly where their guy was going to be at every time. 3 steps back, fire, the guy's there. You don't even have to look at it. So if you're back 12 yards on the wide receiver, then he's just got free range to get exactly where he's supposed to be. If you hit him on the line, reroute him off of his spot, now Brady or Peyton Manning or whoever it is has to readjust. It takes them an extra half a second or second, and bam, he's on the ground. Like, but they just, we don't want him to go over top of us. Like, stop him on the line. He's not going to go over top of you. Like,
that's right. That's right. If you get in his face, it's just unbelievable. They haven't figured out how to be better about that, that prevent defense or that, just soft coverage and at the end of halves, at the end of the games, and let somebody in, even if it's like, a lot of times, coaches like Bill Cowher for Pittsburgh would try and cover the spread. There were times where like the game was over and all he had to do was kneel on it. And he would try and push the ball in because he knew what the spread was and he's trying to help the the fans of the team, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many times where you bet on your team and you have their spread covered and they play soft and they give up a garbage touchdown with 10 seconds left and you lose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I mean, not that they should be coaching that way, but that's part of the game and they know it.
Yeah.
Right? They know about the fantasy, they know about the betting, they know about the spreads and all of it.
Right.
And it's like,
But even if you're not, you're making, with those wins, you're making a statement. Like you beat, like years ago when the Jets Patriots, another example of that, when they went in before when they lost like 45-3 and Rex Ryan was like, "Oh, we'll play him again right now." And like, shut up, Rex. Like, just lost 45-3. Like, you're not going to play him again and beat them right now. But you made a statement with that game. Obviously, we saw them in the playoffs that same, a couple weeks later and ended up beating them in Foxborough, which was one of the best wins ever. But that team made a statement with that game. You beat a team 45-3, especially a team that's going to the playoffs. That makes a statement. If they would have backed off at 27 and beat them 27-3, okay.
Right.
45-3. It's like, God, whew. Yeah, that's tough. That hurts. It gets in an opponent's head. Yeah, obviously not the Jets in that year, which was that was awesome. Knocking them off, especially when I lived in New England and got to go to work the next day and just whew, man, one of the highlights of my sports life, which sucks that doesn't culminate in a Super Bowl win, but it was still outstanding. But you play, like you said, you play hard, you play to the end, and you run that score up. You just run it up as high as you can, and you make the team stop you. And if they can't stop you, you keep scoring. And
that's right.
Make that statement that we're going to play hard, we're going to play to the end. If you want us to stop scoring, you stop us from scoring. If you can't,
that's right.
Then you keep watching us walk into the end zone until the clock hits 0, and that's it. But
that's right. You never let up.
No, and I don't really know where we're going with this, but it was a fun rant.
Right. We're getting to the end of the show. That's where we're going.
Yeah, I think it is. So, unfortunate loss for you, because I thought we had it and I thought that climb to first place was coming. It's like I said, it still can. That division is still really tight. You got Tampa Bay next, right?
Well, luckily we have Brady this week, so that's lucky for us.
Yeah, that's looking like it's looking like it's going to be.
We'll see. But I said in the preseason he's not winning, so we'll see. I'm not changing my my tune here.
Well, you can't.
So,
I mean, you're bought in.
No, I'm on record. It's official.
Yeah, you've got to rat it out, and God knows the way this season's going, it could happen. But that team looks like it's on a roll right now, and you should have Antonio Brown added to that lineup, so that's going to be even better for you guys.
Right.
So yeah, that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Brown, Godwin, Evans, Gronk.
Yeah. Whatever.
What is it? Is this the Pro Bowl?
Right. No, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette.
Sure.
Who else? OJ Howard.
Whatever.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just an offensive juggernaut.
It'll be all right. We'll be all right.
But yeah, after that, it softens back up again for a few games. So we'll still hold on to.
We still got Seattle, Baltimore, and
the end is tough.
Yeah, we got some tough games.
You've got you still got like 3 or 4 games after this that are winnable. And who knows, a 5-win team could win that division this year. So we'll see how it goes. But
so sick.
We'll definitely. We'll be back tomorrow with John when he gets his wits about him and
recovers from another loss.
And for the fans,
it takes time. He's not used to it.
No, that's what I was going to say. For the fans out there, like if you don't know any Patriots fans, this is going to be one of the hardest times of their lives right now. It's going to be like going to rehab and dealing, trying to sober up and, all the relapses that come with it. It's going to be painful for them, and you've got to support them. You've got to give them a lot of shit and let them know how awesome it is that they're suffering through what every other NFL team has suffered through for the last 20 years. They're now getting to enjoy it. So please take the opportunity to let them know how awesome it is that they're suffering through it. Don't miss this opportunity because they deserve it. And we'll definitely let John know about it tomorrow when he's on. We'll be live again. You guys can get your comments in, your calls in, let us know what you think. Give him some shit because it's well deserved. After 20
Mhm.
after 20 years of sitting back with his arms up and his feet up, drinking a beer, watching the games, the tables have turned, and it's a beautiful thing. So
That's right. Welcome to the party.
yeah, welcome. Like I told him when they got rid of Brady, welcome to mediocrity. Uh,
Mm,
that's what it is.
yeah.
So all right.
Hmm.
So obviously, I always forget to say this in the beginning, but please subscribe to the channel, like the show, comment on it, let us know what you think, what you like, what you don't like.
Hmm.
You're not going to hurt our feelings. We're trying to get better, make this better for you. So help us get better, help us make the show better. Let us know anything you're thinking, and please participate in the show when we're live. That's goes a long way to helping us get better as well. So again,
Yep.
subscribe, and until then, for Jim, I'm Joe, and we will see you guys tomorrow.